as I mentioned in the previous video, this Parshat Chaye Sarah has both the mourning, when Avram mourns his wife who died, and the celebration, when Yitzchak marries Rivka, and Rivka is given a blessing by her family, and it hints to the idea that the newlyweds, the Kala in particular, the bride, gets what they call Sheva Berachot, 7 blessings. There are 7 days of celebration and 7 days and 7 blessings that are instituted by our sages. So I want to discuss a little bit these 7 blessings and when they are recited. Now, one of the laws that our sages instituted is that these Sheva Berachot are only recited when there are new people that have not attended the wedding or the previous days of Sheva Berachot, meaning what they call panim chadashot, new faces. So if this particular couple on the second day, let's say, of after their wedding, they want to have Sheva Berachot, they have to invite at least some guest, or according to Sephardi custom, at least 2 guests that did not come to the wedding and the previous Sheva Berachot. And so too every day. So that's what people usually do. A lot of times the couple themselves cannot arrange everything, or even their parents. So a lot of times it's friends who arrange, or other people who want to help them. So the first day, of course, there is the wedding, and then every day a different Sheva Berachot happens. By the way, some Sephardim say that it can only happen in their house, but our custom, the Ashkenazi custom, is that we can do it in a hall, or somebody else can invite, as long as it's done specifically for these 2 people, for the Chatan and Kala, for the groom and bride, meaning it's not simply a celebration for another reason where they were invited, but the whole celebration is for them. The Sheva Berachot is made specifically for this couple, and people are invited, and at least 1, or according to Sephardi custom, 2 new people are invited every day, and this way all 7 days we could do Sheva Berachot. But the last day we have to make sure that it's done before the sundown, meaning the 7th day is counted from the first day of the wedding. So if the wedding happened, if chuppah was done on let's say Sunday, I'm just giving this as an example. So if it's done before Shkia, before sundown, Sunday is counted as the first day already. So even though the main wedding, at least the celebration and all the food and everything was already at night, it doesn't matter, since chuppah was before sundown. It's considered that the first day is Sunday. So the last day would be not next Sunday, but next Shabbat, and it would be needed to make the Sheva Berachot before the sundown on the last day. Maybe according to some authorities, you could still rely that even a little bit after sundown, when the stars didn't come out yet, didn't get dark yet, it's still permissible to say the Sheva Berachot, according to some opinions. So on Shabbat, by the way, at least in the first 2 meals, you do not need new people. Shabbat itself is like panim chadashot, new faces. But the 3rd meal, only if a Torah is said. So there are all kinds of specific laws I don't want to go into, what is considered panim chadashot, new faces and whatnot. And the Sheva Berachot are structured in a very beautiful and complete manner. They include not just the blessing for the groom and bride, that's at the end of the Sheva Berachot, but the beginning starts with Hashem creating everything and creating Adam, the person who included the male and the female in a certain sense. And there are 2 blessings for Adam, in fact, Yotzer HaAdam, because of this hint that Hashem created 1 and 2 kind of. And then 2 creations in a certain sense. And then there's a blessing with regards to in gathering the exiles. Zion is considered like a mother that's waiting for her children to come back. And only at the end are the main blessings of the groom and bride. And the last blessing is the most complete one. That one is pronounced even if there are no panim chadashot, if there's nobody else that came to this meal who was not at the previous meals of this couple. Then only the last blessing is recited, but it includes many different symmetries and concepts. It has various synonyms of happiness: sason, simcha, gila, ditza, Rina, Hedva, all kinds of words that seem to be synonymous, but they all have different, slightly different meanings. It's very interesting, the Kabbalistic explanations of these words. In general, Sheva Berachot has to do with certain sfirot, as the Zohar talks about it, and I once tried to summarize these issues in an article. At any rate, the Sheva Berachot is a very beautiful idea, and you have to start right the new wedding, as they say. Rabbi Israel Klauber used to compare it to the fundamental part of the house. If the part of the house that's under the earth, the one that holds the entire building, is done right, then the whole house will stand. So he said that when he visited the Soviet Union, he saw that buildings are not really standing well. And it turned out that the workers steal from the government the materials for the foundations of the house. So that's why the house doesn't stand well. So he said that this is exactly what people do when they don't really establish a foundation at the beginning of the marriage. If particularly, let's say he's addressing the man, if you're going to treat your wife really well the first year, certainly the days of Sheva Berachot and later, but the first year is the main one, as the Torah tells us. So once you establish that, later, when people become more busy, there's a lot of times the man has to work a lot, the women also work a lot of them, and it's not really the same anymore. But the first year is the foundation, and that's why the Torah tells a Chatan not to go to war if he's not drafted, etc., for the first year, because the first year is fundamental to build this foundation. And certainly the first 7 days, that's the time. 7 is a very important number in Judaism, of course, and it's a full week, and it's the time to get all kinds of blessings from all the different spiritual channels, the Sfirot. Hashem should bless us, and that the new established union of Chatan and Kala, that they should be a one is, which is what the idea is, what the Torah says, to become one. That's what man and wife are supposed to be, that they'll feel for each other and love each other and will want the best for themselves. And it says about Yitzchak, when he met Rivka, he didn't yet realize how wonderful she will be. But later, when she entered Sarah's tent, and she became for him a consolation for the wife, for the death of his mom, Sarah, because she was righteous, and our sages say that all those blessings that existed in the tent of Sarah, after Rivka entered, they came back. They were reestablished, and that's when Yitzchak realized and started loving her. That's what the Torah says, that after already he married her, he loved her. The love can only, in a good sense, the love can only develop better over the years of marriage. In a bad sense is when people marry only out of what they think is love, more like actual sexual desire than love in a lot of cases, right? The love, what they call love, a lot of times is simply that they want to receive the most. Love, as many commentators say, comes from the word to give. Hav in Aramaic is to give, ahava. Right? So instead of giving, they want to receive. They want to get the most enjoyment from intimate relations. And then, of course, as they grow older, the love can become less and less. But the Jewish ideal is the opposite, that the love should only grow. That's why, by the way, wine plays an important role, both in the blessings. The Sheva Berachot, the first blessing is on the wine. Actually, during the meal, a lot of people have a custom that the last blessing is on the wine. But whatever the case may be, wine, and in general, the shidduch is compared to a wine, because, as our sages say, the wine can only get better, right? There's very few things that get better, right? These people who spend, let's say, $100,000 over a bottle of really aged wine. Why would it be? There's nothing else like that you have to wait, let's say, 100 years, and then it's going to cost huge amounts of money. Right? Other foods either go bad or they stay the same over time. But wine can only get better if it's, of course, preserved properly. So that's what we expect, the Jewish couple, hopefully, that they'll be like wine, only get better, only love more, and establish themselves as one unit and really feel for each other. And may it be fulfilled. And if you like this video, please press like and please subscribe to our channel.